Hello, hello, vinyl community. Jacob here in Denmark, and this is my answer to the Vinyl Tag 2020. This is the second time I'm recording this. I saw that everyone is under 20 minutes. I don't know how you do it. I recorded this once and I was over 30 because I can't keep my mouth shut. I'm yabbering all the time. Reshooting this now, and hopefully I'll be under 20 minutes. Have the questions here written down on a piece of cardboard because that's all I could find. Thank you to Andrew for setting up the questions once again this year. And I have some records ready to show you, so here we go. Question number one, best find of 2019. I would pick this album here. This is by the band called Gracious, and this is their debut album. I believe from 1970 or 71. Either 70 or 71. Look at this cool drawing inside here. Warning, there's a bit of nudity. This is obviously, this used to be white. It's now more yellow and brown. An original UK first press, I believe, on the Vertigo label. And the album itself also has the Vertigo swirl. I don't have the original inner sleeve. This actually came without an inner sleeve. So the record is not mint or near mint. I have to clean it still, and maybe it'll be like a VG, maybe a VG plus. I'm not sure. This is in this condition, even though the cover is off-white and there's no original inner sleeve. It's still like $150, $200 record, maybe even more, because it's quite rare, I guess. And I got this for less than $1. So that was a pretty good find. My best album of 2019, well, I have several, and most of them have already been shown. Massey showed the Nick Cave record. Andrew Tales from the Crate showed the Michael Kiwanuka album. I'm going with this one. This is the Henryk Górecki, the new recording of his Symphony of Sorrowful Songs with the Polish National Radio Orchestra and Krzysztof Penderecki conducting and Beth Gibbons doing the vocals. This is a haunting piece of music, and Beth Gibbons' voice, although she's not an opera singer, really brings a lot of pain to this recording because her voice is just so amazing. So that would be one of my favorite albums of last year. A novelty record, I picked this one. This is The Moog Strikes Bach, or Bach if you will. So this is a German guy called Hans Wurmann who plays a lot of classical, well-known classical pieces on a Moog, which is pretty weird. Definitely a novelty record. Homage cover. This is the Paul McCartney Ram album from '71, I believe. This is a Danish guy called Tim Christensen. This is this guy here, who, when Paul McCartney turned 70 some years back, had a concert in Copenhagen where he played the entirety of the Paul McCartney Ram album, and also some greatest hits in addition to that. And they recorded it both on film and on vinyl and CD, I guess. And this is the album called Pure McCartney. So this is a live covers, a live covers album of Paul McCartney's Ram and some other Paul McCartney and Wings hits. It's become quite a rare record. With him also is singer Mike Viola and singer Tracy Bonham, and then Tim Christensen's band here. Pretty cool record. Wasn't at the show, unfortunately. I would have loved to have been there. B-side or deep cut, I was looking through the 7-inch singles and didn't really find anything. I didn't want to go with a deep cut. Wanted to go with a 7-inch still, so in the end I chose to pick this one. This is the Metallica Into Sandman 7-inch European pressing, and on the B-side is Metallica's cover of Queen's Stone Cold Crazy, which is a pretty decent rendition of that song. Only out on this single and on a compilation, the reworked version of the Garage Days EP. Something funky. I picked this really cool record here from the band The Edge of Daybreak and the album Eyes of Love. This is a repress on Numero Group. An original record goes for $300-400. I'm very satisfied with this reissue here. This is there's a great story about this album that I really want to do in a separate video. Just the highlights of it. This album was recorded by a band where all band members were incarcerated in prison. I don't recall the city now, but all band members were in prison, and this album was recorded in prison. They actually moved a recording studio or recording equipment to the prison for these guys to spend 3 or 4 hours recording this album. Weird shelf buddies. So I have in my shelf back there Dead Can Dance, their album Anastasis. There's a third record here, right next to Dead Kennedys, and Fresh Fruit for Rotting Vegetables. So ethereal world music-ish meets punk. Two very different records, but right next to each other in my shelf. Then we have I Was There. So that's not a record actually. That's a CD that I kind of the CD's here. I was there at U2 on their pop tour called Pop Mart. This is a VHS. Yes, I still have the VHS of the Pop Mart tour. This is the concert from Mexico City. I was not in Mexico City. I was in Copenhagen, where I bought this T-shirt here, Pop Mart T-shirt, with the lemon and the shopping cart. An amazing concert. The only time, sadly, that I've ever gotten to see U2 live, but it was quite an experience. Number 9, wish I had an OG, but I only have a repress. Not only do I only have a repress, I only have a bootleg. So this is Brazilian legend Tim Maia and his Racional Volume 2. This has never been repressed officially, so this is a bootleg. An original copy of this Brazilian 1976 record in a decent condition is like a $500, $600, $700 record. I will never ever get my hands on one of those, so I was happy to get a bootleg. It sounds good, and this is one of the best albums ever in my opinion. Tim Maia, check him out if you don't know him. Question 10, discography, a band where you have most of the albums. I actually have all of the albums from this band on CD, and I'm starting to get all of them on vinyl as well. It's the band Stereolab, which I've been showing a lot on my channel, and they're doing a reissue series of all of their studio albums in an expanded, limited 3 LP sets. And this is the latest one that I got, Cobra and Faces Group, Play Voltage in the Milky Night. They've released 2 more after this one, which I still need to get. But Stereolab is a great band for me. British band from the 90s and the early noughts. Influences from krautrock, electronic, punk, 60s French pop. They're influenced by a lot of different styles, and they're just an amazing band. So we're at the back 10, unique center label. Now, I had some difficulties finding one that I thought was unique, but I found this that I really love, and this is actually an old 78 shellac record, and this is the old His Master's Voice label. I'm gonna pick the side where there isn't any writing across the photo that I want to show. Just this cute little dog on the old His Master's Voice label looking into an old 78 player. I just really think that that's such a cute center label. I could not come up with anything more exciting than this. I'm sorry. Next question, pre-band, and I'm kind of cheating on this one because Massey already picked Björk, as she's called. But I'm taking a bit further or a bit earlier in her career. So you have Björk, who of course was in Sugar Cubes, as Massey showed. Before Sugar Cubes, she was in a band called Kukl, K-U-K-L. This is their album The Eye. This is an original copy from Crass Records, made in France. Yeah, it's a tough listen, to be honest. Sugar Cubes could sometimes be a tough listen. This is even more tough. But out of Kokel and later Sugar Cubes came Björk. Next question, number 13. Musical, a book, or movie, and I'm going with a movie, and I should have had the book as well, but I can't find it right now. But the No Direction Home Bob Dylan documentary, and also Bob Dylan's own Chronicles Volume 1, I think are an excellent watch and an excellent read also. If you have not seen this Martin Scorsese documentary, you need to see it. It's just an amazing piece of work. He also recently did the Rolling Thunder review documentary, which is equally amazing. Question number 14, an underrated album. I've shown this previously for some sort of, I think, some contest entry where we had to show guilty pleasures. I'm showing this again. This is the British pop duo Cock Robin. This is their 1987 album, After Here Through Midland, which is just pure 80s pop perfection. And the songwriting on this album is just mind-blowingly good, in my opinion at least. Peter Cook, I think his name was, Peter Kingsley was his name, or is his name. They're actually still touring, or he is touring as Cock Robin with a different singer. Peter Kingsbury was his name. See, it's all coming back to me now. This one has Just Around the Corner, and it has The Biggest Fool of All, and it has my favorite song of theirs, El Norte. An amazing album. Question 15, batting average, a band that has or an artist that has consistently released good albums. I'm gonna go with Elbow. This is their latest album from last year called Giants of All Sizes. Elbow have been around for at least 15 years, if not even, 15 to 16 years or something. Maybe even more. And they've released nothing but good albums. This is no exception. Another brilliant piece of work from Elbow. I saw them live last year for the first time ever. An amazing concert. So Elbow is my choice for batting average. We have to go with CDs here. So same album, question 16. Same album, different cover. So in 1994, Madonna released her album Bedtime Stories. This is a European CD version, and this is the US CD version. So basically, they just flipped over the cover photo for some strange reason. I never found out why they did that. But yeah, same album, different cover, because the photo was flipped over. So that's my answer for 16. Question number 17, cheap. Something you got cheap but is now worth money. This was actually already worth money when I picked it up. Picked this up for less than $1. This is the Danish singer Susanne Mensel and her album Goodbyes and Beginnings is what it's called, from 1981. One of the first Danish electronica, if you will, electronic ambient albums from this singer-songwriter. Now, the reason why this album was kind of forgotten, and then Elijah Wood, the guy who played Frodo on Lord of the Rings, or in the Lord of the Rings movies, did a video, as he's also a vinyl collector, did a video on collecting vinyl, and he had just been in Copenhagen doing a DJ gig. And he went into some record store in Copenhagen, and this album was recommended to him. And he bought it, and he showed it on a video on YouTube, and then everybody wanted it. So it quickly became a like $300, $350, maybe even $400 record. Everybody wanted it. By the time I got this, it had been reissued, so now it's only like $150, $200 record. Still worth some money, and it's actually a really good record, and I'm holding on to it. But this was all because of Elijah Wood. So Frodo made a record worth a lot of money. Question 18, favorite drummer. I'm gonna go with Danny Carey from Tool. This is their Lotta Rallis album. I saw Tool live last year also. If you've seen him live and just see the way he works, he's like a huge guy. He's like I don't know, 2 meters high and 120 kilos or something, pure muscle. He is just, he must have a different drum set every night because he absolutely smashes his drums. So Danny Carey from Tool is my favorite drummer. An album that's turning 20 in 2020. Massey picked Kid A from Radiohead. I was going to pick that, but I went with something different. This is Godspeed You Black Emperor, Canadian post-rock outfit, out on Constellation. This is their 2000 album, Lift Your Skinny Fists Like Antennas to Heaven. One of my favorite bands of all time, and this is one of my favorite albums of all time. This is so exquisite and so beautiful and so haunting and so yummy that I can't even begin to describe it. Godspeed You Black Emperor, Canadian post-rock. Question number 20. I'm blasting through these. Trilogy of albums. I'm gonna have to go with Nick Cave. His Push the Sky Away from 2012, followed by The Skeleton Key from 2016, and then last year, 2019, one of the best albums of that year, Ghosteen. A really haunting trilogy where Nick basically works around, or not works around, but comes to terms in a way with, or deals with is probably a better word, the very, very untimely death of his young son Jack, who was only 15 when he passed away. And throughout these 3 records, you can just feel Nick and his pain, obviously. Those were the 20 questions. Bonus question was give some shout outs. I'm actually gonna steal Tim from Tim TJ Heino and his answer. I'm gonna copy that 100%. Search on YouTube for Vinyl Tech 2020 and watch some videos with from some channels that you don't already follow. And if you like what you see, give them a like, give them a subscribe, and discover new channels is basically what I'm saying. So for me and my old YouTube live concert shirt here, that's it. I went really fast and I think I forgot a lot of shit, but that's it. This is Vinyl Tech 2020, Jacob in Denmark signing off.